I did a video before the new year about my plan to be more intentional with my TBR, my to be read list in 2024. So I kept getting excited about shiny new things, and my reading life was really disjointed. It was too heavy in one genre when I had a long list of books to read to help me as an author and a mom and for my health that just weren't finding their way to the top of the pile. So the real question is this working, and have I stuck to this plan at all? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm MK Williams. I'm an author and I love sharing my insights about all things books and publishing with you. Before I get into the details of today's video, don't forget to hit subscribe. You'll be notified when I put out new videos each week about publishing, making a career to being an author, and now being a mompreneur. And now I'm a planner. I like to plan, and I had a beautiful plan for my 2024 reading with 5 different categories. So it was going to be craft and author business, novel research, parenting, health, and then just fun books. So the question is, am I sticking to it? I have been. I'm recording this in April, so by the time you see it, I'll have had a few more months. But I would say for most of January through mid-March, I was really following it. I had rounds, or I would read one book from each category before I could move to the next round. That way, I would have a balance and just not read through my fun pile and leave all the nonfiction for the end. So how many days into the year did it take me to deviate? January 4th, I was at the library and I picked up a book that would have made it for my round 2 for the fun category. It was a fabulous book. I'm glad I mixed it up on my list because it was just sitting there at the library on the shelf, being awesome and in need of a good home for a few weeks. So, yeah. And since then, I was really strict with the order of it. I was doing really well. And then things have gone off the rails a little bit. So my biggest lesson so far is that I am susceptible to marketing copy as much as the next person, especially for nonfiction titles on my list. So some had really great titles, great hooks, and I actually had to DNF 2 of them so far and had to muddle through a third. Like, I pride myself in, like, if the book isn't a fit, I'm going to DNF it. Like, life is too short. But the marketing really got me for some of these books, and yeah, like, I'm glad that I gave these books a try because I had been so excited about them. But I think this kind of speaks to an underlying issue and how nonfiction books are produced with traditional publishing, which is the author crafts a pitch, sells the book on the idea, and then writes it. And the end product, like, maybe doesn't live up to the pitch. So I've read some really amazing nonfiction, but I've also read some not as advertised nonfiction, and those books were DNF'd. So I'll go over the best books I've read so far because I really have read some amazing ones. And I would say the best nonfiction book I've read all year is The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I think I'm most likely going to purchase it just to own so I can reread it whenever I need to. Like, that's how much I really appreciated this book. Now, on the fiction side, I have not had a bad experience with fiction yet this year. So reading This Is How You Lose a Time War, Cutting Teeth, The List, Rain, Business or Pleasure, The Other Black Girl, The Royal Game. These are all really great books that I really enjoyed. And I think I kind of got to the next nonfiction book that was just not as advertised. And I was like, what is it? Like, I'm wasting my time reading this. And there were some author friends of mine who had arcs coming out, and it's kind of aligned with the beginning of April. And I said, I'm just going to do Indie Reads April. I think I've seen like a hashtag of like Indie April or April Indies or something. And so I was like, okay, like, I'm going to read arcs for the books that I'm really excited that are coming out, that I know I'm going to enjoy, and kind of give myself a bit of a cleanse before diving back into these rounds. And I also went through my list and looked at some of the books again and said, hey, like, I think based on the marketing, this is a like, not a love. And there's some other books that I've recently learned about that I think I would love. And so I've revamped and revised the list, and I'm really questioning, especially the nonfiction books on my list, to make sure they're pruned so I can really enjoy those. So for those of you who want to follow along as I read these, you can always follow me on Goodreads. I'm also now testing out Storygraph for a future video, so you can follow me there. And again, please send me book recs, but don't, because I have an addiction to adding books to my TBR. So maybe don't send book recs, but send book recs. All right. If you found this update informative or at least entertaining, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe or that shiny thanks button. That tells YouTube you got value from this information and they can get it in front of authors and readers like us. Now you can get back to writing your book.